Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 14. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it. If we gonna get into it, honey, this episode was boring. Do y'all hear me? This season has really skated on by with recycled drama each and every episode, and they ain't fooling me. This season is giving nothing. Absolutely nothing. Child, let's get into it, honey. I ain't got time. When the episode first opens up, Dorit and PK, they go to the dentist for a cleaning, and Dorit is talking to PK, and this is the first charity that she's doing an event for since the panorama started. It's called Homeless, Not Toothless. Dorit, that is a god-awful name. She's like, yeah, Sharon Stone used to be my neighbor, and she thought that I should look into the charity. She was like, it didn't have a lot of attention, and I just felt like I could bring some more awareness. Yeah, because, I mean, who the hell is Sharon Stone anyway? Dorit, this inflated sense of self is killing me. The fact that Dorit is like, Sharon Stone? The Sharon Stone? Oh, let me help you bring awareness, because I'm Dorit from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Girl, if you don't go. So then the dentist offered to do a free smile for one deserving person at the charity event of it all. And I just have to say this as a side note. Dental care is so ridiculous in the States. The amount of money that it costs to even get a tooth pulled. I had a tooth pulled maybe like a few weeks ago. Cost me $1,500. It's ridiculous. It is so pricey. Most people have been neglecting their oral health because of that. But I have to say this. Not taking care of your teeth can lead to heart problems and even death. Honey, I hate to sound like an infomercial right now, but the nerves in your teeth are connected to everything. If your mouth ain't right, then everything just falls the hell apart. I'm just saying. Moving forward. So after they're done, with the dentist, they take a picture and they show this picture of PK's old teeth. Yuck. Okay. Ew. So Dorit is like, yeah, that's what I had kids with. That's love right there. And girl, please, that's disgusting. And you fell in love with his coins. And your mouth didn't look no better, honey. And don't think I ain't see that picture. In the next scene, Sutton is at her store and Crystal stops in. And Sutton is telling Crystal that her daughter has a sore throat, so she needs her to come work for her. And Sutton, girl, quit playing. Now, you know dang gone well Crystal is not about to come here and work in your store, child. So Crystal brings up that she saw Lisa. And Sutton is like, oh, you did? Okay. So they start talking about that. And Crystal said, Lisa said she's angry. Sutton is like, well, she wasn't angry at the lunch. She even apologized to me. But as soon as she got an audience, now all of a sudden you mad. Child, don't nobody care nothing about that. I don't care because either way, Sutton, you going to sit and take Renna's nonsense. So I don't want to hear nothing about it. So then they switch gears and Crystal starts to tell Sutton that Renna said everybody was talking about her ED. For those of you that's eating disorder. And again, this is a trigger warning in case, you're sensitive to all things that have to do with this subject. So I just want to make sure I put that out there. And Crystal, I just want to ask you this question. Did Renna tell you that she was blaming you? Did she tell you that part? So Crystal is like, I understand how it can be difficult, because it's very touchy. So Sutton is like, yeah, but I don't know if the concern was their girl. Okay, they ain't act like they was that concerned for you to me. So Crystal was like, were they judging me? Absolutely. So Sutton said, a little. Like, I don't know if they were judging, but they were definitely using you as gossip. Okay, they were sitting around gossiping like hens at the kitchen table, talking about your eating disorder, and it was very inappropriate. I will say that. So Crystal goes, it's a lifelong journey. I guess I'll just take a page out of one of their perfect plan books and get rid of it in a week. Or you can just start mess and pretend like it doesn't exist like the rest of the heifers do. Moving forward. So Crystal said, I'm just noticing a pattern that my vulnerability is met with judgment. Yes, you were right. When y'all went on that trip to La Quinta, you were absolutely right. And also, they don't like you. They only like each other. Erica, Kyle, Renna, and Dorit. The rest of you can go. Honey, you could really be put on pause. Shout out to Dorinda. Moving forward. So Crystal starts to get really emotional because she feels like they're being insensitive. They don't know how to be any other way but insensitive. Girl, are you new? In the next scene, Asher is giving a little impromptu show, even though the cameras are there. Action. Oh, Asher. So Diana Jenkins comes down dressed in her tracksuit, honey. She's watching him play. I'm like, look at this little lizard. So she was like, yeah, my best times are when, he forgets that I'm in the house and he's on the piano singing. Child, he know you in that house, and he also knows those cameras are in that house, and he ain't fooling me. So she's like, yeah, I just feel like he's very sheltered. He grew up on Broadway. He's just very sweet. He's a child. Girl, that is so weird of you to say as you sit on his lap. Anyway, I'm so bored with her scene. Nothing going on here, so we can skip on past this. In the next scene, Erica goes to Kyle's house to get stretched. And I'm like, what are y'all doing, child? Anything for a scene these days. So then they sit down, and Kyle asks about Erica's sex/dating situation. Erica is always like, girl, I'm getting laid, honey, getting laid, getting paid. You know how Erica is. So then they bring up all the things that they missed, including the party. And so Kyle is like, yeah, Garcelle was talking about you drinking, girl. Here go, Erica. I'm a little bit over this. Erica has a problem thing because I don't. I never thought you had a problem, truth be told. I thought you were overacting and deflecting, and you didn't want people to be talking about that case that you got, or cases, okay, because it's given plural. And Garcelle bought it, and she was the only one buying this little drunk act because I definitely was not. She's like, yeah, you really realize who your friends are in these moments. Garcelle isn't your friend. You don't like her. That is clear. So stop playing victim, girl. You don't like Garcelle. You don't give a damn about Garcelle or Sutton. So please keep it real. So she feels like Garcelle wasn't coming from a good place. Well, I don't know what place it was from. I just feel like she was giving you a pass for how you acted a fool at her party, and you having an issue with drinking was better than calling you out on your ish. And it's so funny to me because you played up the drinking when she was mad at you. Now it's not an issue? Erica, stop. I realized I can't be mixing the pills with the booze, and I can only have one. How are you, Garcelle? All of a sudden now, Garcelle is trying to make it a problem. I don't have a problem. Well, when Rena was sitting right in front of you talking about it, you were acting like you may have a problem, but you don't have a problem. Girl, anyway, I don't have time to play with Erica. Moving forward. She's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in my house. I don't want to be anywhere. Like, I'm fighting my way through the best that I can. Well, you know who else is fighting their way through the best that they can without the funds that they were supposed to have? The victims. Okay, so I don't want to hear it. And I ain't forgot. Now, you can get with your little circle and talk amongst them, and they can act like they forgot. But us, we have not forgotten. She's like, I guess you just can't have a good time in front of these people. Yeah, that's it. They don't want you to have a good time. Cussing them out, asking for threesomes, calling a black man's wife his baby mama. We don't want you to have fun, Erica. You know what? We owe you and Harry an apology. Girl. I'm not about to play, child. I'm not about to play. So then Kyle brings up Dorit's black and gold party. She's like, I'm confused on what this is, girl. They're like, the name of it is Homeless Not Toothless, and that is not a good name. The name is a fool, okay? It's given a fool. Like, why not smile despite the pain, or I don't know, something, just not that. Not Homeless Not Toothless. Child, this would be a Dorit charity. In the next scene, we see all the ladies getting ready for the event. Same thing, different event. Kyle FaceTimes Rena to kiss her behind. And so on the other side, Dorit is getting everything set up for the event, or she's overseeing everything, honey, because she ain't going to touch her linen. And they're going through the itinerary of the evening. So PK has a surprise guest coming, because if it's one thing they're going to do, it's that. So Erica, Jane, and Rena, they roll to the party together. So then Kathy arrives with Dwight. He's a gentleman that used to be friends with LVP, but now he's not anymore. So he's over here with PK and Dorit. I'm not really a fan of Kathy. Okay, I'm just have to say this. Because I watched Watch What Happens Live. And Kathy, you calling Lizzo precious? That's not going to fly with me. Don't even get me started. I'm not even going to get on my soapbox right now. But Kathy, you're on my list. Moving forward. So then the other ladies show up. I'm not sure what anyone is wearing. I was like, what is the dress code like, girl? What is happening? Anyway. So the dentist was unable to make it to the event. Charlie probably was embarrassed by the name, but that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. So Kyle and Mauricio, they arrived, and that's the best I've seen Kyle look in a while. Girl, black dresses suit you. So then PK presents Mauricio with the faux Sachi belt. I'm like, why are you giving this man a Versace belt? So anyway, lifestyles of the rich and famous. So PK is over there being pretentious. He's like, the whole thing with the DUI that I got. Now, mind y'all, okay? Listen to what he said. The DUI that I got. He's telling Erica the story, and he's like, yeah, the cops pulled me over, and they asked, where I was coming from. And he said I was at dinner, and they asked who I was at dinner with. And he said, I said John Legend and Lionel Richie. He's like, and then it went from bad to worse after that. The real lesson is when you think you're okay, you may not be. Well, I thought it was an alleged DUI. Child, him and Dorit stay lying. Do y'all hear me? They stay lying. Now all of a sudden he got a whole story for it. And did you see how Erica's wheels were spinning? Because it takes a scammer to know a scammer. So she's just sitting here like, hey, you're supposed to say alleged, and the car rolled 15 times. Oh, child. Erica wasn't ready for him to admit it, honey. So then Sutton finally arrives. Lisa being all fake. Sutton Strack. Hey, girl. Girl, anyway. She the first person to speak to Sutton, knowing she can't stand her. So the men are over there talking about how the ladies are dressed, right? And Mauricio was like, Dorit's dress is beautiful and Erica's dress is short. So PK said, okay, so who wins? Mauricio said, my wife. What's the answer after the cameras go down and the mics come off? That's the answer that I really want to hear. So PK said, okay, so take our wives out of it. Who wins? Mauricio said Rena, and PK said Erica. Well, I mean, we've seen every inch of both of their bodies all over Instagram, so I mean, it's only right. But wait until the ladies watch this back. I cannot wait to hear what they have to say about this at the reunion. Andy, don't spend too long on this, because I know how you like to gloss over the real issues that go on throughout the season and talk about the fluff. You're not fooling me. So please do not spend 45 minutes of a segment talking about PK and Mauricio having this 5-second conversation. Don't do it. But I'm actually shocked that Mauricio chose Rena, and I'm also not buying it. Over on the other side, the other ladies, they're talking about, the phantom man that we will never see that Dorit has for Garcelle. She's like, yeah, he's this, he's that, he's in great shape, he's a handsome man, he's lovely, he's 60, he owns the block, he's everything. She's like, yeah, but then he got the virus, so. But he was dying to be here. Sure he was. If she's been talking about this man for a year and he has not materialized, he may not be real, honey. He probably as real as that robbery. Allegedly. So it's time to sit down for the dinner. The heifer sit down. And Dorit is giving this speech, honey. She's speaking her speech. She's like, the charity is homeless, not toothless. Here go, Kathy. What? She said, homeless, not toothless. Kathy gonna say, that's great. It's giving very much, that's hard. Oh, child, that family is nuts. Ma'am, please quiet in the audience, honey. Quiet in the audience. So Garcelle over there flirting with Sam, who's the cosmetic dentist. And she's like, yeah, I have twins. They're 14 and I have a 30-year-old. And I don't have Botox. I know that's right, honey, because black don't crack. Get into it. And Sam was kind of cute too, girl. You better shoot your shot. I don't know if he came there alone or whatever, but y'all looked kind of cute. Moving forward. So, child, the chicken parmesan hadn't even touched the table good. And Kyle is like, hey, yeah. So I heard Rena told you to get the F out of her house. So both Garcelle and Sutton were like, yeah, she did say that. So Kyle said, well, she said she didn't say it. So then they show Rena saying that Sutton wasn't doing or saying the things that she wanted. So she asked her to leave. No, Rena, that's a lie. The only part of it that is true is that she wasn't doing and saying what you wanted her to do and say. That's the first time I've ever heard you admit something like that. So that's true. So Sutton is like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it right now. Like, no, not right now. So then she leans over to ask Dorit. And she's like, yeah, she did say that. Then all of a sudden, Kyle believed them. Y'all know what? It was so peaceful last week without Kyle. It really was. It was so peaceful. So Garcelle is like, in her confessional, she said she didn't want to talk about it. So why are you bringing it up? Like, Kyle is always ready to throw Sutton under the bus. Yes, because they know Sutton will grin and bear it. Like, she's this franchise's punching bag. They treat her wrong, she reacts, then she apologizes. It's a whole cause and effect type thing. And they know that they're going to have each other's back. So that's why they treat Sutton the way that they do. And she allows it. So, honey, I don't care no more at this point. So then Kyle yells to Rena. She was like, Rena, you did say get the F out. And Rena's like, no, I did not. So Mauricio said, I wasn't even there and I know you said it. Okay. It definitely sounds like it's within her vernacular, child. It's not too far-fetched. Rinna lies and starts backpedaling. I didn't say that. She's like, the fact that you didn't apologize to my husband when you had a chance. Rinna, y'all were in the middle of a wine tasting. Y'all know what? Harry is the most uninvolved husband that I have ever seen. Rinna always uses him to try to garner sympathy. Garcelle, you didn't tell Harry thank you for the sauce. Sutton, you hurt Harry's feelings. You didn't apologize. It's like, give it a rest. Okay, give it a rest. It's not working. Harry doesn't even care about this women's mess. Like, I know he had his press-on nails and whatnot, but girl, he don't care nothing about these heifers. So Sutton was like, well, I texted him. Rinna was like, no, he said you didn't respond. She said, no, I absolutely did. Okay. So in the confessional, Sutton pulls out the spectacles and begins to read said text. Rinna, are you not embarrassed? You lie, and Sutton presents the receipts every single time. And once she pulls out those readers, it's over for you. It's over for you. As soon as she pulls out those readers, you know she about to come with the receipts. So Rinna is like, you know what? To make all this go away, you offer a public apology. Rinna, please. Girl, what in the ransom are you talking about? While she's being ridiculous, Sutton is like, okay, rule number 1 in Lisa's handbook is do what I say and it all goes away. Sound like a nursery rhyme to me and a bunch of bull, but that's definitely what's in this 1-page Rinna rule book. She might need to start selling it online, child. Do what I say and it all goes away. This is so embarrassing though, y'all. At a charity event, these two are yelling across the table. Rinna is screaming and dropping more F-bombs. And then tomorrow she gonna pretend like she didn't know what was happening. Cause now the audience is bigger and you know she gotta get her acting on. There is no way these women could scream at me this way. Absolutely no way. They know who to try. I feel like this cast deserves each other. All of them. Y'all all deserve each other, honey. You do. So as they're yelling and being downright tacky, out comes Melissa Etheridge and they went crazy. Here you go, Kathy. Who's that? Oh my gosh, child. At this point, it ain't even funny, ma'am. Ma'am, were you raised here on earth or not? So, you know, she started singing and I have to say, Come to My Window was my jam. Melissa sounded good too. Because, you know, sometimes when you see people in person, it's like, even though she wasn't in person, she was through the TV. But like when, you know, it's not on a track, they don't sound the same. But baby, I was, come to my window. Child, I was in here with my lighter up in the air, child, waving it from side to side. Yes, encore. We want more. Child, it was good. I was so impressed. All this hollering and Melissa Etheridge was behind the curtain just chilling. If it's one thing PK and Dorit gonna do, it's have a famous singer behind the curtain. They gonna pull somebody from behind that curtain. It's like magic tricks for them. So after they all take a picture with Melissa, she goes away. And I was looking at the picture, y'all. Kathy was standing so far from Garcelle, I thought she was taking a solo picture. I said, girl, move in a little bit. Girl, what? Child, I guess the magic of Melissa got to Sutton because she's up hugging Rinna and apologizing yet again. I'm over it. Okay, I'm over it. The episodes are becoming redundant at this point. Get together, gang up on Sutton. She, you know, she says what she's going to say. In the next half of the episode, she apologizes and tells them how she wants to be their friend. And they do it all over again the next episode. While Garcelle sits there and says a few things, but says most things in her confessional. While Kyle sits there and produces a scene, Rinna sits there kind of smug. Erica comes in every now and again. Dorit is just there for a pretty picture and to wear her designer labels. And Crystal is Crystal. And that's that on that. Moving forward. So after all that, Rinna has a breakdown saying that her mom's things were delivered to her house that day. And she's just so upset. Now listen, I understand grief. But Rinna, you were acting like this last season too. Like, I really do want to offer you some grace, but at the same time, Rinna, this seems to be your personality. Now, everybody deals with grief differently, and there are stages of grief. So I'm not discounting the fact that she could very well be overwhelmed at the fact that it seems so finite after the things were delivered to her home. I am not taking that from Rinna. But Rinna, you were crying and telling them that your pain is from Lois's death. You were trying to muster up a tear. Child, I didn't see not now piece of a tear. They were all rallying around her. So now everybody's crying, and then 2 seconds later, you were fine. I'm like, Renna, and scene. Like, I just didn't understand what was happening. I'm trying not to be rude, but Renna, I just really wasn't buying your act. I'm not saying that you're not grieving, but I feel like you were being mean to Sutton because you don't like Sutton. So then she tells Sutton, it's not about her. It's okay. And, she just wants to get past it. And so Sutton's like, that's okay. I can take it. Sutton, stop saying things like that. That's why they treat you the way that they do. Stop it. It's okay if you can take it. You shouldn't have to take it. Like, why do y'all want to be in these spaces so bad? I'm not understanding this. Child, Melissa got y'all acting like that? Child, this is a mess. And that was the end of the episode. See? Wasn't much. Child, y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about the last part of the episode. What did you feel when, Renna was basically pouring her heart out and saying that that's the reason why she's been so mean to Sutton here lately? Well, what do you think about Sutton always apologizing and doing all that hugging, honey? Quite frankly, I'm over it. I ain't team nobody. All y'all deserve each other. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.